Carolyn Dube here. Oh, what's the play for today? Well, today I get to share what I've been working on, the secret I've been keeping, because today I've got 4 new stencils released at StencilGirl. Now, these stencils have to do with play, have to do with creativity, and let's dive in and take a look at some of them. This stencil is called It's Time to Play, and it's got 5 different quotes all about the importance of play. Now, I've used them here just on some gel prints and turned them into very, very quick cards. You can use them as titles on things. So on this cardboard collage that I've got here, I used it for the title up there. I also used it over on this piece of cardboard to use it for the title here too. Now, the people that you see in here, that's Silas and Sigmund, and that's part of another stencil. When I designed the silly Sigmund and Silas stencil, I purposely made them different sizes. I wanted some big, some little, having them in different combinations so that there was lots of flexibility of ways to add something silly and playful into your art. These 2 characters, they're like vaudeville stage managers of our lives, and they just can't seem to take anything too seriously. Now, Silas is on the bottom, and he's trying to corral the everyday happenings, the feelings, the thoughts, while Sigmund is perched up on top to get the best view of the show that we call our lives. And not only do you get the stencil with this, but you also get the masks. Here are the 3 masks that come with the stencil. And when you have the mask and the stencil, it gives you a lot of flexibility for different ways to play. As some of what I've been doing with it is playing with it on book text, as well as some poured paint tags. The next 2 stencils were inspired by Henri Matisse, and the more that I learn about him, the more impressed I am with what he did and how he went about doing it. You could say I've got a bit of an art crush on him. Now, this stencil is called Dancing with Matisse, and it is based on his art called The Dance. When Matisse was in art school, he had a whole bunch of teachers that would come along and critique what he was doing and tell him to change it, that what he was doing was wrong, that wasn't the way it was done. Some of them even made it very clear that he didn't belong there. But Matisse was a rule breaker, and he kept on doing his art. And the dance sums up a lot of that for me. The unrestricted movement of the figures was one of those ways that he broke the rules. Because instead of making that classical, perfectly proportioned kind of figure, he went for something very, very different. When I was using the stencil to create a whole bunch of these art dolls, I began to notice some personalities in each one of them. One of these is a free spirit, the kind of person that can just hear the music anywhere they go. And then there's the superhero, the kind that charges over things, takes care of things, comes through in a pinch kind of deal. We've got the inner child here with a guide. And then the last one over here, this is the adventurer, ready to head off and see what the world has to offer. One of the unexpected benefits of these figures is how well they stand out even on a very colorful or very, very busy background. Now, what about the quotes that are here? Where did these come from? Well, they happen to be quotes by Matisse. And they're on the last stencil in this release. This one is called Conversations with Matisse. These are the kinds of things that I would imagine he would give as advice, things that he would tell someone that's trying to be creative right now, trying to express who they are on the inside. These are those words of wisdom that he's learned through his journey. Quotes such as art is an escape from reality, or when you're out of willpower, you can call on stubbornness, or never ruin a good painting with the truth. At the bottom of the stencil, there are 3 figures that are inspired by his blue cutouts. And these also, like the figures on the Dancing with Matisse, these also work extremely well on busy backgrounds. They work as gel prints, and of course, you can play with the negative and positive. When you've got stencils with words and phrases on them, you can combine them together to make new ones to fit what it is that you need it to be. So I've got the quote, "Life isn't as serious as my mind makes it out to be," from It's Time to Play. And I've also got An Artist is an Explorer from the Conversations with Matisse. When I put those together, I now have To be an artist is to be an explorer. So with these 2 stencils, not only do you have the quotes that you've got on them, but you also have endless ways that you can combine them together. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll be sharing tutorials of some of the projects that you've seen in this video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you'll know as soon as those videos are out. And if you'd like to find these stencils as well as any of my other designs, they can all be found over at StencilGirlProducts.com. Well, thanks so much for joining me for today's play, and thank you so much for letting me be a part of your colorful journey.